so it seems that I have some unfinished business. About a year ago, I talked about a wrestling game known as WWF 2 Know Your Role for the PlayStation. As I'm sure most of you know, that is one of my most popular videos. But I only talked about how bad the season mode was, and I didn't really talk about anything else. Now, because of that, I feel that video is actually incomplete, so consider this a sequel to that video. And in this video, I'll go into even more in-depth aspects about the game. I hope. So, WWF 2 Smackdown Know Your Role was developed by Yugs and published by THQ. Apparently, this is the last WWF game that was made for the PlayStation. As I said before, this season mode is bad. And wait, this disc cannot be played. Shit!
Piece of crap.
Now, as I was saying, apart from the bad season mode, this game actually is pretty good. It took a lot of the aspects of the first Smackdown game and then gave it a good upgrade. But wait, what is this? No memory card detected? Damn it!
Fuck.
Now I will talk about the aspects that I really liked about this game. First of all, I gotta say, the menu layout looks pretty damn cool, especially when you're choosing your special match. I'd even say it looks better than some of the more recent SmackDown vs. Raw games. Let's check out the ladder match for instance. I never saw this much usability of a ladder match in a wrestling game before. Well, you know, apart from No Mercy for the N64, but I never really played that game back then. Look at this, you can hold the ladder, walk with the ladder, hit people with the ladder, stack the ladder, jump off the ladder, and just have a lot of fun. Which is easy to do in this game because it's fast paced, unlike the more recent SmackDown vs. Raw games that really kinda go for realism. Plus, the latter TLC matches were pretty damn major at the WWF in this time. Yeah, if I'm talking about that era, and that era was known as WWF, I'm gonna refer to it as WWF. If it's WWE and beyond, like 2002, then I'll refer to it as WWE. Just a little fun fact, even though it's not really fun. Speaking of TLC matches, there is a TLC match in this game, which was a pretty damn epic match, but the drawback is that you gotta go through season mode to get it. But it is definitely worth it, as much as I don't want to admit it, because season mode really does suck. What else? Oh yeah, casket match, in which people did request a lot, but there really isn't that much to it. That is the problem I have with this type of match, it's overly simple. Or maybe I'm just not using my imagination. Who the hell am I kidding? I mean, you can pick up the casket, hit your opponent with it, and then lock them in the casket to win. But that's really all you can do. Maybe because the technology for these games kind of restricted it or something? No way! They brought this match back in SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Which again was okay, but still kind of had the same problem. There wasn't much to the match at all. Oh well, I guess you can't expect everything to be perfect. I guess it's just one of those concepts in real life that don't translate well into video games. I mean, there have been some pretty epic casket matches in real life. I guess that's where they belong. In real life. One of my favorite features in this game is the Backstage Area. I mean, really. I thought the first SmackDown game one was good enough, at the time of course. This really expands a hell of a lot for a PlayStation 1 game. It really does feel like you can go everywhere and everywhere inside an actual arena. But not just only the arena, but you can go outside too, and do a whole lot of crazy shit, and even go into the pub, which really gave me a sense of freedom I hadn't felt in a wrestling game before. A lot of things to explore, and a lot of things to throw your opponent into. This was a time in WWF history when going backstage and wrestling there was the shit. But now they hardly do that anymore, because I don't know, I guess going backstage scares the little kiddies or something, I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot you can drive a forklift, which at the time was pretty kick-ass. Now this match I'm going to talk about now was one of the most overly hyped matches about this game's release. I think you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, well then shame on you. Because I'm talking about none other than the Hell in a Cell. I remember being pretty stoked at the time that this match was in the game, because it was, and kind of still is, one of my favorite matches of all time. Now, how does the match itself do? Well, it's really not too bad, but I mean, yeah, the cell is not as big as it should be, and you can't really slam them into the cell, but you can dive your way out of the cell, and pick up the piece you broke through with and then beat the crap out of your opponent with it, which was pretty cool. But the real cool thing you could do was the fact that you could climb the cell itself and fight on top of the damn thing, and even throw your opponent off the side. But not only that, but you could also slam your opponent through the top of the Hell in a Cell, which was pretty damn cool. I think we should all thank Mick Foley and The Undertaker for that, because if it weren't for them, then maybe this feature would never be in the game. So basically the match is fine. And that's all I really liked about the game. Well, honestly, it may not be absolutely everything I like about the game, but it's definitely the highlights. I mean, I would score this game a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I said would. It has a good roster, cool matches, cool moves, decent creator wrestler. But I can only give this game a 7 out of 10. Why? If you've seen my other review, I think you know why. It's that retarded. Season mode. Now I know you may get mad at me because the season does have good points, and yeah, it does have good points. The cutscenes are pretty good and enjoyable. But only because every time you see them, it feels like a breath of fresh air after seeing those stupid loading screens and those battling meters. Yeah, no, I will never live that down! Maybe if it just had the loading screens, it wouldn't be so bad. It's also that music that plays along with those battling meters. It gets so annoying. And you have to watch it for every single match you skip. Like every match. Even if the characters, even if the other wrestlers have nothing to do with you. You still gotta watch these retarded battling meters. I can't imagine what the people at Yerks or THQ or whoever the hell coded this crap. I can't believe they actually thought it would be a good idea. Maybe the battling meters will be fine if you actually just skipped your own match and that's it. I mean, seriously, were they high when they made this? When they coded this crap? I mean, seriously, imagine that. Look at the lines! They're running out! Oh man! This is like the coolest thing we ever coded in it. Idiots. Idiots. Seriously, they're idiots. You know the sad thing is, playing through the season mode is the only way to unlock Stone Cold, attires, matches like the TLC match, and Shawn Michaels. So you pretty much have no other choice to play through season, unless you go to a friend's house who's already played through the season, with your memory card and steal his saved game. Hell, this is probably one of the only games I'd recommend using some kind of game code to unlock everything, and I really don't condone those at all, because they ruin the experience. But no, if you have a game code, use it, unlock everything. Fuck the season mode, you're not missing much. I mean, seriously, they really need to put like a disclaimer, a caution sign before you play the season mode. Like, caution, this season mode will probably test the limitations of your boredom, anger, frustration, and possibly your sanity. It is recommended that you have popcorn and a drink, preferably alcoholic, on standby to avoid any of the described symptoms. I mean, the best thing you can really do is just pray that you get one of these loading screens. This round has made me sad. If you hadn't figured out what I'm trying to say by now, well, what I'm trying to say is, if that season mode didn't have those battling meters, or had better loading times, I would give this game a 9 out of 10. It would actually be a really good season mode. Really, it would be. And I would give it a 9 out of 10, maybe a 9.5 out of 10. But no, it gets a 7 out of 10 because of the season mode. This has been my more in-depth review of WWF Smackdown 2 Know Your Role for the PlayStation. I hope you liked it. Have a good day. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't smoke. That was just my asthma inhaler.